Back and really have perspective and you realize all that God has done for you, like, oh man, it can feel shameful that you doubted. It's true, but if you look in the Bible, you're going to see others that have a very similar situation, and you have permission to falter and get back up. You also have the permission to appear to fail as well. And so the question is this really a failure or not? Is this really a falter? Well, it certainly appears like that, okay? But let's keep reading here. In that very hour, verse 21, Luke chapter 7, that very hour he cured many of infirmities, afflictions, and evil spirits, and to many blind he gave sight. Jesus answered and said to these disciples, "Go and tell John the things that you have seen and heard, that the blind see, the lame walk, the lepers are cleansed, the deaf hear, the dead are raised, the poor of the gospel preach to them. And blessed is he who is not offended because of me." When the messengers of John had departed, he began to speak to the multitudes concerning John. And he goes, "What did you go out in the wilderness to see? A reed shaken by the wind? But what did you out to see? A man clothed in soft garments? Indeed, those who are gorgeously apparelled and live in luxury are in king's courts. But what did you go out to see? A prophet? Yes, I say to you, and more than a prophet. This is he of whom it is written, Behold, I send my messenger before your face, who will prepare your way before you. For I say to you, among those born of women, there is not a greater prophet than John the Baptist. But he who is least in the kingdom of God is greater than he." Now, this is pretty profound here. Jesus goes to say, hey, go tell John what you've seen and heard. Go tell him what's going on and just witness to him. Witness of him and encourage him. And then he goes, and Jesus kind of does a 180, so to speak, and speaks to the crowd. And say, yeah, you might have just heard that and interpret that like doubt, as doubt. You might look down on John right now, but let me tell you something. And Jesus just all of a sudden starts touting John the Baptist, saying he was the greatest prophet. Now, can I just tell you, you don't hear many prophecies, or I'm not even aware of any prophecies that John the Baptist has done. Okay? Prophecies. Yet he's called a prophet because of the message that he carried preparing the way for Jesus. Jesus himself said he was the greatest prophet. That is an amazing statement when you look at all the prophets. Jesus lifted him up. So once again, and this is what it comes down to, it does not matter what man says about you. What matters is what God says, who God says you are, and what God says about you. And we need to hear his voice and what he's speaking to us. We need to get in tune with him. Sometimes we're so in tune with our circumstances, and we allow our circumstances to tell us who we are. We allow our job title to tell us who we are. We allow our functions and giftings to tell us who we are. Yet Jesus wants to be the dictator, or the one who's dictating to us and telling us, hey, this is what I see. I see you are such and such. I created you to be such and such. And we need to hear his voice in those moments and realize that he gives us the grace to falter and to get back up and keep going.